Okay, that looks good. What do we want to smell today, Mr. Cooper? Lulu? Man, that smells good. Oh my god. Alright, and we're good. So, hello team. How's it going? It's been a hot second. Lots of things have been going on. So, last video was a sweet little vlog, or not even a vlog, but just like a kind of travel-y video of me and a couple of my gal pals on a camping trip in San Clemente, California. So lots have happened since then. I feel like I'm not making any sense at all. I think I'm just gonna put it up there. I'm moving to New Zealand. It freaking happened, you guys. If you follow me on Instagram, you may know that that has been a huge journey for me. I think I mentioned it in my last vlog, like the one that I'm actually like sitting down and taking you throughout the day. I think it's like getting real with you guys and talking about my long distance relationship. Holy smokes, this smells so good. I might have talked about that in my last video briefly. So long story short, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna make a whole video explaining this because it's a complicated situation. So, my partner today, Jack Thompson, hey baby, if you're watching this. Oh god. We met around 4 years ago in Thailand, randomly. I feel like I went through this story, maybe not. Long story short, we hit it off, went back and forth visiting each other, doing the whole long distance thing. 2020 happened. I was like, I'm graduating college. Let me move out there and be with you so we can be like a really solid couple. Moved out there, 2020, as we know, is a wild year. I went through like a major personal shift and had to deal with a lot of things. I feel like I talked about this. Anyways, I can go into detail later on if you guys are wondering. Talking to you, my 131 subscribers, you saucy little minxes. So I ended up coming home during 2020 and around May, just to come home and be with my parents, and I didn't know what the heck was going on in the middle of this gosh darn pandemic. I don't think anyone still knows what's going on. I don't know. Anyways, so went through this whole freaking process of getting a partner visa, and my ladies or men, whatever, if you've been through this partner visa process from an American going to New Zealand without being married, it's a little difficult because there's not a lot of solid like documentation, am I right? So luckily, so happy that they give an option for people who are just in a partnership rather than being married, like legally married. So I freaking did that. I'll go into detail of, well, you know what, let's just do it. Let's just make this whole video like the whole process of what I had to go through. Starting off, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so I came home May, didn't know what the fudge was going on. Just started teaching yoga again, was implementing myself back into the community. It felt really good to be home. Things started to open back up in California rather than being on the full lockdown. So I immediately jumped back into my job with waitressing, and then I started to teach a lot more, went back to the studios that I was teaching before. A lot of them shifted to outdoor. So I was teaching outdoor yoga, still I'm at this moment. So yeah, everything was really great. I was like building a lot, all this stuff. It was crazy. Things were just aligning for me, all this stuff. And then it just didn't feel right because my partner's not with me. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I found myself, I found my niche, I found my power, my personal power. I found that self-love that I think I've mentioned before in my yoga journey or whatever. It was like that lesson of self-love. And I finally felt like I truly, completely loved and accepted myself. And I was finally like, what am I doing? Like, I don't want to keep doing this long distance thing anymore. This is just not healthy for the both of us. And talking to Jack, my partner, we decided to try for the partner visa because we didn't really know at that time. I think it was in August when I applied for it finally. We were kind of just trying to wait it out to see like what border would open up first, yada, yada, yada. Nothing was opening up. COVID-19 was getting worse, especially in America. New Zealand, you guys are fucking chilling. Your borders are shut. I understand, totally understand. They're completely like back and freaking ready to rock and roll in their own little borders. So kudos to them. Really excited to be out there. It was just getting really complicated, and with his work, he's in the Navy, so it is more complicated for him to come out here. And honestly, I'd rather much rather be out there than here right now, especially with just like job security for him and more opportunities for us to actually like live life, I guess, right now. I mean, I know this is all gonna pass over, but like I'm an impatient little chica, and plus I love New Zealand, and yeah, it just, for the both of us, it just made more sense for me to try for a partner visa there rather than like, I mean, the only way that he would be able to come out here is if he had already had like a company giving him a job so then he can get a visa, or if we were gonna get married, and we're not gonna get married for a few years, I feel like. I don't know. Anyways, we'll see what happens. But I do wanna marry him. Ah, okay. So I applied for the partnership visa, literally, fudge, it was just so gnarly because I was like in this mode where I'm like, I'm literally going to get this partner visa if it's the last thing that I do. Like I will stop at nothing to get this visa. I was scouring Immigration New Zealand's website every freaking day, just seeing like, where is the loophole? How can I get out there quick enough? Because when I was looking at the timelines of when each visa would get approved or like get at least an answer, partner visas were taking 7 to 9 months. Like 7 months minimum to 9 months. And it would especially take a little bit longer since I was applying from America. Like they prioritize visas that are being sent in from New Zealand, which totally makes sense. It's like the people who are already out there, like they were like, I freaking need a visa so I don't leave, you know what I mean? So totally made sense, just made it a little bit scary for us. That's when I was talking to you about how like it's just been like a really heavy week for us, and we were just like kind of in this limbo, this really low limbo of just like what is even going on, like what's happening, are we even gonna get an answer? Like this long distance is just really gnarly. And little background, like Jack has always been the stable person in the relationship, like wholeheartedly he has been my rock, and literally has never given up on me when I was distant with him or when I was going through my own like internal pain and turmoil that I had to uncover myself and find that happiness within, which is so freaking cheesy. And we always talk about it and you're just like, yeah, like I know, like I need to love myself and I know that happiness is within, but that was a lesson that I truly learned, and he was there the entire freaking time, man. Like he was there no matter what like things I said to him, no matter how pouty I was, how much crying I did. I put this man through so much emotional turmoil, and he has just always been so stable. When this visa process was like really taking a toll on the both of us and just showing no light at the end of the tunnel, really, he was starting to have a little bit of doubts, and totally understandable, especially because of how I was acting when I was out there, just totally like lost and finding myself. And I knew that in that moment, with some help from one of my teachers, yoga teachers, like I've been working with her a bunch on internal growth, and I just knew in that moment, like it's my turn to be the strong one, and you can be soft and strong at the same time. And finding that strength for not only for him but for myself as well was, I think, was what helped. And another tangent, I freaking manifested this. Like y'all, this is freaking crazy. Okay, hold on, retract. I'm gonna have to talk about something else. So partner visa still was not getting processed through. So I was like, I don't know what to do. We were at our lowest low, and then I was scouring Immigration New Zealand. I'm like, there literally has to be another way. Right after, in August, when I applied for my partner visa, there was this thing called a critical purpose visa, and you can apply for this critical purpose visa. Like you have to say like where you're living, like your whole entire situation, a little spiel, a little paragraph of like why you are requesting to apply to this visa. And then if they approve your little spiel, they can send you an invitation with a little code to apply for the visa, and then you'll either get approved or denied. So it's like you have to say your situation. They're only giving a limited amount away because they don't want like a whole influx of people to really understand. And they don't want to just let anyone in, so you have to say your spiel, send that in, and then they'll review it, and then they'll be like, I don't know if like you deserve it, so they'll just be like, sorry, you can't apply for this visa. Or if you're lucky enough, they'll say, yeah, your situation sounds legit, we want to hear more, here's an invitation to apply for the visa. So this happened in August. I applied for that critical purpose visa, or applied for the invitation, and they're like, oh yeah, you just pay 40 bucks and then we'll get back to you in like 3 days. 3 days goes by and I get the email that I unfortunately got denied. So that obviously was like devastating. We're just like, okay, we're just gonna have to wait for this partner visa to go through rather than the critical purpose, which would just be a visitor visa anyway. So I'm like, okay, like we're just gonna have to wait for this to go through. A month goes by, we still don't hear anything. And then Jack is starting to have, this is when I put that vlog out. It was like, you know, we were just having a really hard time. We're just like, when is this gonna get approved? Like, what's happening? When are the borders gonna ever be open? Like, is he ever gonna be able to come out here? Am I ever gonna be able to go out there? Like, I literally can't go out there unless I have this visa. So it was literally just, our hands were tied. And I found my strength after he was voicing all of these doubts, and just like, we were honestly, we were crumbling. We were crumbling. When I was like, no, okay, backtrack again, sorry, so sorry. This is like just so all over the place, but backtrack. When I got denied the first time, I was so distraught. I freaking called Immigration New Zealand. I was like, hey, I need to talk to someone because like, you're not getting back to my emails. So I called them, I'm like, I'm literally crying to this poor woman that's on the other phone with me. I'm like, I just need to see my partner. And this woman, this is like September, she's like, okay, well, if you check back, in her cute little accent, she's like, I can't do it, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna embarrass myself. She's like, if you check back in October, we're gonna like start allowing you to show documentation of like your situation. So like before, when I applied, it was just like word, like they had to just take my word for it. And so this time around, they were gonna be able to like, we could upload documents while we were applying for the invitation. And I'm like, okay, told Jack, and I'm like, okay, you know what, like in October, I'll check back and we'll see what happens. Fast forward, I got denied from that first one. I called her, blah, 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 October. Okay, that's when we were starting to have our doubts because we didn't hear anything. And I'm like, I remember, because like a month had gone by, all this stuff was going on. I was gathering all this, like all these documentations and everything. Because for the partner visa, I had to apply or gather so much documentation of us living together. We had to show proof that we were living together, that we were in a genuine and stable relationship from like, you know, past conversations we've had, how we kept in contact with like the distance and everything, just all of this stuff, like literally like 3 years worth of information. I thought I put up enough information, but I'll get back to that too. So anyways, we're at this lowest low and I'm like, no, I am not taking no for an answer. Like, I'm getting out there. Meanwhile, I'm freaking trying to manifest the shit out of everything. I'm like talking to my spirit guides and being like, I literally wrote, oh my God, I'm gonna show this. I literally wrote in my manifestation journal, I will be in New Zealand. I don't know if you can see this, in New Zealand, excuse my handwriting, but in New Zealand in December 2020. We're gonna come back to this, okay? We're gonna come back to this. I literally wrote that in my freaking journal when we're having our low. So I'm like, no, I'm coming back to Immigration New Zealand. I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna reapply for that critical purpose visa because obviously there's no traction on my partner visa. Like, that's not gonna get approved until like literally a half a year from now. So I'm like, no, we're not gonna do that. So I went back on and I'm like, okay, let's look at Immigration New Zealand. They set out a whole new like base of rules that like, I guess they kind of not loosened it, but like they allowed for more people to apply, because at first when I was reading, they weren't gonna let any outside travelers come in. Like, even if you were in a genuine and stable relationship, if you were outside of New Zealand borders, then like they weren't gonna even look at your visa until like they got through all the other visas. So that's probably why I got denied. Anyways, so I reapplied for this visa. That was like the day before, or the day of, actually. Jack was like, we were just literally at our lowest low, at our lowest freaking lowest low, you guys. The day before he was like voiced to me how he was feeling and everything, I applied for that critical purpose visa, paid the $40, and then they're like, okay, we'll get back to you in 3 days and see like what's happening. That entire night I could not sleep. I literally was just like laying on my couch right here, talking to my spirit guides, meditating, doing deep breathing, and I just kept imagining, I'm like, I'm gonna be out in December, or in New Zealand in December 2020, and I just kept imagining in that moment, I would like take a deep breath in and I'd be like, what would it feel like if I got that email of approval that I could apply for this critical purpose visa? And I just like, my whole body just like swelled with this feeling of just like unencumbered joy, like this just like insane joy, and it got from my belly to my heart, and I was just like, oh my God, like I can feel it. I could feel this approval. I could feel it. I could see it. What would it feel like? What would it look like what would Jack say to me? All this stuff. Like I literally just like, my whole body was just like overtaken by this feeling of just like what I would feel like with this visa approval. And I was like talking to my spirit guides. I could talk more about this, but I was literally like talking to my spirit guides. I was so honestly desperate. I was just laying on the couch and I just kept imagining like my email, like, you know, bling, like you got the approval, bling, bling, bling. 9 o'clock rolls around in California. That's like 6 a.m. New Zealand time, the following day. And I'm talking to Jack, and I like had called him already before his work, and I'm just like, I know that this is gonna get approved. Like I know, I could feel it, like all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, I get the, I'm gonna tear up. I get the email approval, and you have no idea how like, how relieving that was. And I knew in that moment, I'm like, damn, this manifestation shiz works. First of all, they weren't supposed to get back to me for another 2 days, right? It hadn't even been 24 hours since I applied for that. And then the second time around, they said that they were gonna let us put documentation. There still was no documentation. I literally sent in the exact same like spiel that I did last time. And maybe we're like a little bit more fluffy, and I just said, I have documentation, like please just like let me apply. Literally so desperate. But anyways, they got back to me less than 24 hours, and I said the same spiel, no documentation or anything, and I got the approval for the invitation. Man, so that was insane. That was like the turning point for us. And the fact that I got that approval in such a short amount of time, the like day slash night, like morning time, the night slash morning time where we were at our lowest low, and we needed something. We needed that approval to be able to like have hope and have that light, and be able to like see that future again. So man, that it couldn't have gone at like a more perfect time. So immediately I was like, oh shit, like I'm gonna drink my freaking coffee, get all jazzy jazz. So I got my coffee, I immediately opened up my computer, and I start freaking going to work. So I start applying for this visa. I'm like gathering all this documentation. Luckily, my partner visa had a lot of the documents that I needed for this new critical purpose visa, like literally like a police report. Like I had to get my fingerprint scanned months ago. So like all of this preparation really helped me, and they only gave me a week to respond to this email and apply for my visa. So I'm so happy that I did all of the prep work. Like it literally happened for a reason. I applied for this partner visa way before, like 3 months before, in order to have all of this information ready for this critical purpose visa that I was invited to apply for. So I plugged all of that in, I sent it in, I was feeling good, and within like 5 days, I want to say, I got an email from Immigration New Zealand. I got a case person, and they're like, hey, we need a little bit more information. We need blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Blah, 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 blah. Got all that together. Sent that in. Next week, I get a call from Shirley. Hey, Shirley, how you doing if you're watching this? I get a call from Shirley, and she's like, hey, Paisley, like, I know that you sent in all this stuff, but like, we need more. Like, especially since like, we don't have a lot of hard evidence of you, like no marriage license, whatever. We need a joint tenancy agreement. You guys, I did not sign any joint tenancy agreement while I was out there. I just moved in with Jack, and just like his roommates were like, yeah, sure, whatever. And so I literally like emailed the people that, or I had Jack talk to them, our past like head roommates or whatever, who were like the head of like anyone who like rents rooms from the space that we were in. And I was like, please just like write a beautifully worded letter saying that like I lived there, we were in a genuine and stable relationship, and I was a great ass roommate. Both of them did that. They signed it. Everything was good. I sent that in. She called me. She's like, I need a timeline of you guys. Sent in the timeline. She literally called me. She's like, Paisley, I need a timeline with like photo evidence. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like this is, they need a lot of stuff. And she's like, I need evidence of like, because I gave her a timeline. She's like, I need proof to the pudding. Like I need conversations, I need photos, I need plane ticket, like confirmations, like all the stuff that you guys were visiting each other and like really maintaining this long distance relationship. I'm like, holy shit. So like, you guys, if you know, like if you're in a long distance relationship, you're talking every freaking day. I had to sift through so many gosh darn messages from when I first met him, When I was 19, that's 4 years ago, you guys. That's 4 years ago. Thank God I don't delete emails, like I literally don't, so I was able to just like look those up easily, and he had to like get a sponsorship form filled out and notarized by some person. I don't know, it was crazy. So like literally I spent 16 hours after my last phone call with Shirley, love you Shirley, spent 16 hours, you guys, compiling and like sifting through screenshot after confirmation email after photo after all this stuff, like talking to all my friends, hey, you have photos of like with the name and date, like blah 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 blah, like location, all this stuff. You guys, I am not kidding. I compiled, I kid you not, I literally can't make this stuff up. I compiled over 100 pages of documentation of our relationship. Like, excuse me? And I had to send in like very intimate conversations between us. Like, it was freaking buck wild. So I did that because I, like, in my mindset, I'm like, there is no way Shirley is going to deny me. There's no way. I have no other, there's no other choice. There's literally no other choice. She's either gonna accept me or I'm gonna like skydive into New Zealand. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Anyways, so I freaking got that. Got that all sent in, and she's like, okay, I'll give you a week to send all of that in. I literally sent it in the next day. I'm like, you underestimate how quickly I can put this all together. Honestly, the lockdown has helped me because I've had a lot of free time on my hands. A week later, actually a week and a half later, she took her sweet time. I mean, I don't blame her. I sent in 100 pages of information, so I got approved. I got approved. And during this week, that week of just like a lull, I every single day was meditating, manifesting, saying words of affirmation that like I was imagining myself in New Zealand, like in December 2020. I'm like, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. So that was like beginning of November. I finally got that approval. Wow, yeah. So once you get that visa approval, you're able to, because the process doesn't stop there, folks. The process does not stop there. Once I got that visa approval, I had to go online to their isolation hotel website, and I had to register. I put all my information in, my passport, whatever, my details, and they have like an online calendar. They're, okay, well, first you have to put like the location of your final destination so they can put you in an isolation hotel, because they have them scattered all around the country. But they want you to be in a hotel closest to where you're gonna end up, right? Your final destination. So yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get out there so soon. It's like beginning of November. I'm like, I wanna be out there like first week of December, so I'll be out like right before Christmas so I can spend Christmas with this family. I'm like, this is what I've been manifesting. Like, this is it. Like, I'm gonna get out there. This is perfect. Log on, happy-go-lucky gal, tune in, and then I go to the calendar. Literally all of December is booked up, and my heart sank. I was like, ugh, no, like, no, I need to be out there. And I'm like, dang, okay, no, it's fine. Like, it'll be good to spend Christmas with my family, like right before I go, right before I move away. Like, that'll be beautiful, and I'll be able to spend New Year's like with my friends, like all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, totally cool, all good. I'll just look at January. January was totally open. I'm like, okay, you know what? Listen, I'm gonna wait to book for January because obviously all the Kiwis are just like going home for Christmas. So they're just like, that's why December's all booked up. Like, they wanna be there for the holiday season. Totally understand. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna check back for January again because I don't see it being booked up anytime soon. So I'll check back. I'm gonna watch flights because they're literally fluctuating by the hour right now. If you're watching flights, like they're fluctuating by the hour, especially in New Zealand, because it's like such like a, I don't know, not a lot of people are going there right now. So I checked back. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait a few days or so, and once flights get down low for January, I'm gonna book it. Flights got down super low for January. I'm like, perfect, log back in. Literally all of January is booked up. The devastation I felt, I literally, you know when you get that anxiety and it's in your tummy and you need to like poo right away? That's exactly what happened to me. My digestive system was like, nope, you're in a state of freaking fight or flight right now. And I broke down, I froze. In this moment of like hysteria, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I called Jack, I'm like, I don't want to wait until mid-February to get out to you. Like, that's gonna be like after your birthday, after all this stuff, and I won't be able to get out of quarantine because it's 2 weeks until like end of February. Flights were like $4,200 for a one-way ticket to New Zealand. That is so criminal. That is so criminal. So anyways, I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, okay, I just need to fucking breathe for a second. Just breathe, girlfriend, just breathe. So I just like went into a meditative state. All of a sudden something told me, it's like, hey, you know what, Paisley, just check back for December. Like, people cancel their trips all the time, something comes up, whatever, like just check back. And why not try? Why not try? It's better than being out there in February. So I log back in and I go to December. Literally the only day available is December 20th. I book it right away. I didn't even look at the flights. I was like, no, fuck it. No, I'm getting it. I don't even care. I'm gonna be in isolation in December, but for Christmas. But I mean, heading back to my freaking manifestation journal, I'm gonna be out there in New Zealand, December 2020. What? Even after the fact that like December was booked up, someone freaking canceled. Whoever canceled, I love you. Thank you so much, because now I'm going out there. And I checked back, I got flights. I'm flying with Emirates. That's gonna be really glamorous. I get to go to Dubai, get a layover in Dubai for 12 hours. So excited for that. And it was $3,000 cheaper, people, to go at that time. Ah, it just worked out. I'm so happy. Spirit, universe, God, whoever you believe in, aliens, I don't care, they provide for you. Like literally, manifestation is freaking real. It's just the difference between thought and feeling. You have to have that feeling. Anyways, so long story short, I'm gonna be out in New Zealand in December 2020. Sorry, the camera shut off, so I had to like redo this anyways. But anyways, I'm gonna leave December 17th, which is in 5 days. I'll arrive in New Zealand on December 20th, 2020. Spending my Christmas and New Year's in quarantine. Just eat Jack on January 3rd or 4th. I think whatever day that was. Anyways, and I'm just like, I'm in shock. Like, yes, I put in the work for this, but also like, damn, like I cannot believe it. Like that perseverance and that like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm speechless. I'm literally speechless. I'm gonna be back in New Zealand. Oh, I'm so excited. And we're going to a concert like right after I get out of quarantine with people and dancing and no social distancing and no masks. Like, I get to be with my fucking partner. Like, yes, I'm so beyond excited. Just, I know that everything happens for a reason, and I know that I had to come home and find myself and find that path once again. I'm just so insanely grateful that I had a partner who allowed me to do that and like was so accepting of me through all the ups and downs. And man, I'm like the luckiest girl ever. I can't believe this is happening. Like I just can't believe it, and I can't wait to take you along this journey too. I think I'm gonna do like a daily quarantine vlog. You know, people are doing Vlogmas. I'm gonna do a daily quarantine vlog because I'm gonna be lonely. I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands, but honestly, I'm kind of looking forward to that. Like, I don't know, I think I'm just gonna do a lot of yoga and a lot of filming, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. I think I'm only gonna take like 2 suitcases and carry on or whatever. So the critical purpose visa is just a visitor visa. I can't work out there. It's just for 6 months. I'm hoping that my partner visa finally gets approved while I'm out there, so then I could stay up to 2 years, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm in it for the freaking long haul, you guys. Like, this is like, that's real. Like, we'll see what happens. I am still in awe. It still doesn't feel real. California just shut back down again, and so I lost my restaurant jobs, but I'm still teaching yoga, and luckily, like, a lot of the online workouts and yoga for the studios are taking off. I'm working on building a teaching schedule while I'm out there to stay in the community here, and so I can get some sort of income, but things are just like really aligning right now. Like, really aligning, and I just thank my lucky stars every day. I'm just so profoundly grateful, and I know that this video was like all over the place and kind of ridiculous. It was just like a stream of consciousness, but I just really wanted to update you and share with you what like content is gonna come, and I'm definitely gonna be filming more yoga flows and everything, but yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this next journey. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope you're, you know, doing well. Can't wait to take you along this wild ride. Man, thank you guys so much. I'm sending you so much love. Big hug. Thanks for watching.